Turn that microphone on. 4:41 p.m. 4/5/2020. We're going to do engine. We're going to do it my regular way, and we're going to send this over to the foundation guys over there on the course to keep them busy. But I'm also, I'm gonna drop this off into the good people group as well. I was trying to record on TradingView, and it doesn't like my security, so it records the video, but then it doesn't let me publish it. Then I can't share it, and it's a mess. 4:41 p.m. 4/5/2020. I had just done two really good videos on support and resistance for trading on Ethereum, and they're gone. And I would come back to it, but a lot of times once I do a video, I don't like to come right back to it because I have such fresh. I'm walking the chart. I'm speaking to you. The chart's speaking to me. I'm speaking to you. So I got things that I want to talk about when I get to the chart, but there's other stuff I see. Now, walking the chart, really engine as a coin. Lots of different things here. Fundamentally strong gaming coin. Great fundamental research here. Great learning here. Great understanding of what a coin can do. The potential of a coin. Does that mean engine survives? No, it doesn't. Now there's three things. There's three things here. Maybe two things. Three things. Three things. This is a Tika pump coin right now. We've seen, if you've studied charts in the past of what happens with Tika's coins, TNT, off the top of my head, I can't remember the rest of them. You'll have to go back and do the research. I covered them when they were all being pumped last time, 5 coins for $5 million. And there's a bunch of coins this time. There's 5 coins. There's a YouTube video over there. I covered it in the live rooms. I've hit the coins quite often, but Engine is one of them. So there's a potential for a move to the upside based on a report or whatever however how you want to categorize it. They usually get pumped. So far, nothing. A little pump when it happened, and then nothing happened. But that don't mean it ain't coming. It don't mean it ain't coming because usually that is the case with his coin. But we're in a pretty bad environment. So let's talk about market conditions. I'm gonna hit a lot of different things. This video could be a good video to kind of walk in the chart, but also all the different things you got to think about when you're looking at a coin. You're thinking about investing in it long term, or you're thinking about trading it for sats to take back to your long term BTC or your current midterm BTC, or possibly your current short term BTC, which would be a little bit more difficult. Now, the thing about the white line on the bottom, I can go in here and spend a couple hours doing fibs to the downside, fib targets, and lock down a certain number down there around 300. But I can keep it really simple because again, you guys that are listening, this is for foundation guys, so they still, there's a way. The retracement fibs are the most important for you to learn. Trying to do those fib targets when you're first new and not having the source code is not, it's probably you don't need to try to do that because you'll get yourself in trouble because there's a lot to using fibs, price action, how to put them on, how to confirm them, how to move them around, how to be flexible with them, how to understand them and trade them, how to use them for long-term entries. There's so many different things you can use them for. And as you learn all these different things and how to think through these charts, you will realize that it's just not a fib. It's just not a line on the chart. It's a tool. And you got to know how to use a tool or you'll build something or break something or won't be able to fix something. Longer term, that white line there, through my advanced experience, knowledge, being able to work with these charts, being able to follow crypto, that area down there, I feel like they're going to go to before this is over with. And they may go past it, but a lot of them have went down here. And I don't care about how good I feel about this coin or how good anybody else feels about this coin or what happened to make it go up there like that right there. That's not important to me. That's over with. Okay. When they did that, I had no idea it was going to go that high. When they do it again, it'll probably go higher than you think because if these coins are going to survive long term, and this is long term, and this is going to be a viable coin in crypto in the future, then yeah, they can go higher than that. If was a fifth, and a lot of coins ain't coming back. They're going to barcode. So you have to be very careful, especially with your investment. You don't want to put your money in something that's not coming back. And even at 300 sats, when it goes down to zero, it ain't coming back. Okay, so you got to remember that. Short term on this chart, kind of walking the chart, walking the market conditions, walking, what you got to think about in order before you can ever even consider trading something. You don't want to make it too complicated, but you got to understand what's going on. You got to walk the chart, you got to walk the market, you got to walk your noggin thinking. You got to think, you've got to write stuff down, and you don't just come over here and go, oh, I'm going to buy it, it's going to go up to 16 or 24 wherever. And this one's actually got another important part to it, which is the Bitrix chart that they pump. Very difficult chart right here. Not a lot of sats to the upside unless they absolutely pump it. If you got some down here, ride it because they could just take off. If you go buying it right here, you better not use very wide of a stop. I can see going up under that under that wick right there. You know, you could think about a little short-term trade for the pump move. You want to measure off your percentages. You want to see where your targets are to the upside. How do you do that? You can use retracement tools. You can use support and resistance. Now, let's just go back because we're going to walk the chart. And let's think about, before we think about anything that's going on over there, long term, I still think it's going down to 300 like most of them do. Short term, Tika's got it, and it can pump, and if you've got it lower, you've got something there. So even shorter term, if you want to try a low probability trade to catch some sats on a pump move, engine's your coin. Engine number 9. Where can I put this video? Oh, I know where I can put it so that the guys can get it pretty fast. Because I want y'all to. I made 2 real good videos. So let's go back to the past, and I could do a video. I probably could spend an hour on this going, go digging up some fundamentals and putting the price action around when that news popped. Let's try a little bit of experimental TA, which is basically just finding candles on the charts. Now I've been doing this stuff with these charts since 2017. When I notice, sometimes these first candles, they'll give you something. A lot of times you can also look at it as when they come down, it'll be a support level right through there. You can see a little bit of a support level. But most of these coins are making it all the way down to the last very support, and some of them are going through it, and they're not coming back, y'all. I just don't think they're coming back. Maybe for a pump here or there before they die, but I don't think they're coming back. So that original candle, sometimes that original candle will give you 4.23 if you've ever tried it. That one don't really do it, which means they've most likely used it in here, but I'm not going to go looking for 4.23s. Huge moves. Crypto loves to do the 1 and the 2, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3. That's a little bit Elliott wave. And then it never does the 5. Now, could you say that they could still do a 5 here? Well, no, because if this was going to do a 5, a Elliott wave, if you learned about your Elliott wave, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 should have not gotten down here almost like a double bottom. They bottomed this out, so almost a little bit of a double bottom here. It's sitting again. The wave structure is wrong. They're not really doing wave structure on the alts, and that's what I find. Plus, a counter trend wave needs to be an ABC. There's a little bit of an ABC here. There's a little bit of an ABC here. I think when I was really studying, this is interesting too. This is a little bit over foundation level, but this is interesting. I found them more closely resembling a 5-wave cycle to the downside and nothing close to it on the upside, which is an interesting concept because that makes that a bullish wave and that makes that a counter trend wave, except what they've done is they went all the way up to the top and all the way back to the bottom and basically created a big range. So you have to take Elliott wave out of the equation. Now you can see that beginner candle right there. And you can see they've come down, and you can understand why down here in this 500 area is going to get interesting. But with the experience of watching the other charts, I know that they have a bad tendency of just taking that sucker all the way to the bottom. Could engine be special? It could be. It could be special, but most likely it won't be. So you really have to have your long-term cap on as around 300, and you have to be very aware of market conditions when you get there. Now, really strong move. Corrected it all. Let's walk this chart. Very strong move. Most likely a 4.23. Most times it is with a 3.6 if you understand your fibs. There's a sideways move. I can start marking off different places on the chart. Little sideways move. Down, down, sideways, down. Okay, so they went sideways, but they didn't go down. Why didn't they go down? Well, they come here and they sat and they created some support. One, on the way up, the seller sold it off. Then they broke right in here. So when they come down, they held this for the most part, but they dipped down to about 466. So we'll just go ahead and mark that off. And they do a sideways move, but this sideways move holds. So they create a level of support that they absolutely sprung off of. Now, this spring came from news. News, powerful news. You go over and research it, what happened with Engine. And take it from it where you want because they gave it all back. It was powerful enough news to move the price on speculation, but not powerful enough news to hold the value of the coin. Somebody made money off of it. Somebody made money off that one. Somebody made money off that one. The holders ain't made a dime. And before they know it, we could be down in the 300 level. And before they know it, this coin could not exist anymore. This is like the dot coms if there ever was one. And you don't know what makes it. On the shorter term part of this chart, if I just zoom on right here where my eyes just hit, I see a type of a reversal pattern, a head and shoulder, if you will. No structure up to it, nothing but really a sideways move, but I do see what the short-term traders are going to see. Hey, we need to take profit. They're fixing to sell this thing. So I do see that right there. My eyes just went. So we got a pump and we got news, and they went and they just took off. And I'm not too sure they even used fibs in here. Last time I was looking at it somewhere, and you can kind of see, what's going on here. And to me, I can remember, I'll go back to because I had taken this chart apart. And again, this is just kind of jumping around, walking the chart. I feel like they blew that 4.23. Some people actually put additional 4.23s up there. The thing is if you come through here, there's not very much leeway right here on the bodies of the candles. And so you can see there's a lot of froth going on right there. So, there is, I can't say shouldn't put more fibs on there. About 18 more percent there. I've personally learned how to put a whole bunch of other stuff I don't need on there, and that last little bit is just part of it. Especially if you get going that fast. But that makes sense. I'd have to go in there and really, 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 really look to clean it up. But you can see something that becomes interesting here too. And you see where I ran these fibs from, and then when they come down all the way down, they come up and they start to respect these lines. Now you could leave them on there, but that's really not the lines you want. I mean, you could, and this is a little bit more technical too. You could go back and you can see. Oh, they're just lines, but no, they're not. And they can be used for many different things. Now those are fib target tools, so I'm going to remove that. We're going to walk the chart again. We're going to go back and think about what's going on. So the news absolutely rocked this sucker. Did a 4.23, actually blew it a little bit, and then it gave it all back. But it was you got to think about these people are like, this is so important, but it just keeps going down and going down and going down and going down. So people made money off this one. I was all over this one. I did not expect it to go like that, 700%, and they really flushed it before they went. They set it up real pretty and wanted to go in here for a little while, and then they just brought it right back down. The freaking to go, and then just took off, and they didn't give you really a chance to get in once they did that. Trying to get in right here with your risk would have been another 50% down because they had already taken off, and then they took off again, and guess what they didn't do? They didn't square up. They came back and squared up right here, boom, where you got a bounce, and then right here where you kind of flatline. Not a big bounce, but they flatline right here, and then they just drove it down all the way back down to where it all started. Now we got 3 touches down here. When we're coming from the downside, I'm going to make some, you guys are in the Foundations course, so I will be making, excuse me, an F, I'm about to sneeze, pollen, an F support and resistance. I've already made it twice, like I said, and I'll have to record it this way. You are recording me 14 minutes. So we come all the way down to the bottom. We've tested this bottom once, twice, 3 times now, almost 4 times. I mean, they really rode this bottom here. So I know from looking at this that, down in this area, probably provide some good entry, some good trade, and they could come down here again and stay here. They don't have to go down all the way like where the rest of them are done, but it definitely has to be in your thought process if you're thinking long term right here. So two little areas easily can come down the third time and really press it down right there. And then there's an area right in here that's concerning because they got going too fast again right here. And they didn't really fix it. They kind of dipped down right here and dipped down right here. You see how that they got going too fast right here? They got going too fast right here. So two little places important. It's important to find other charts like this as well. If you can find them down here, you can catch stuff like this. Notice how they break over the red moving average, come back and test it, took off. Now here they break over the red moving average and they don't take off, but they give you some sats if you know what you're doing. And you can see they're starting to mark off very important levels on the chart. Now you see the box. Now you see it. Now you don't. Now I've got a more of a shorter term look at this chart right here. But now with this box over here and what I've done with this chart, do you understand why they're not breaking into this level so easy? Because they got to get through all those orders. Now is that as a resistance line? Very possibly, but there's nothing but open space here. So there's nothing to stop it except possibly that. There's a little bit of hiccup in there if you go to a lower time frame. Now, as you're going up, you're looking for resistance. You're looking where the resistance is. Now, most people will look over here and say that's resistance. Well, that's where they went down. And every time they tried to go up is where real resistance is. And you can see it right around 24 there. Otherwise, there's no resistance right here. There's nothing to stop this thing. Nothing to stop it. So it's appetizing for a pump. It's a very appetizing for a pump, which is a more advanced lesson, in which we'll cover in the lab this weekend. That is 16 minutes, or this week, the crypto lab. That is 16 minutes. I'm going to wrap this one up. I think I've given you guys a lot to think about. I want you to come over to Discord, give me some suggestions, and I'm going to continue to work on and get these videos, and they'll get placed somewhere, and y'all be told about them. And I'm going to keep them coming, at least one a day while I'm doing these live rooms. Reach out if you need anything. Engine coin. I ended it on the more advanced thought process, the wide open space to get you guys over and the good people excited about this video. But this is I'm made it for the foundation. The wide open space, the pump. Wouldn't you like to see some major blood right here? Or wouldn't you like to be positioned in this and know what to do if the pump comes? Now, I'll give you a little bit of homework here. Where is resistance? And without the source code video and the lessons over there, and just simple support and resistance, you may not come up with the proper answer. Now, you can use moving averages, you can use Fibonacci's, and you can use real knowledge of real support and resistance. And you guys in the foundations course, that is what I was working on F, and that's what I'll come back to when I can, and it will be soon. Engine number 9. Choo-choo. TradeCreatorLive.net 45-2020. Engine coin, walking the chart with lots of different things to think about.